Hello, good morning, and welcome to the final day of the group stage here at Hippo Cup 4. I am this one guy, and we're going to be bringing you some pretty intense matchups today. Got a lot of matches that are going to determine group winners, group second and third place finishes, etc., etc. Starting off here in Group I, we have Washington football team taking on Hot Dog in a match that is going to determine the team that advances in second seed from this group and which team finishes third and goes home early. We already have Team Gurney Squad advancing as the first seed at 3-0. They defeated both these teams, who are now both 1-1 after both also beating the top seed in the group, Russia Osu Cup. This one is for all the proverbial marbles for both these teams trying to advance out of that group stage into the round of 32. So on the left-hand side is going to be Team Washington football team, captained by Ron Rivera. Team will be Chris, Cuckweezy, Dulakira, Errol, 1103, 99 wins, Galactic Light, and Official Jerk. On the other side is Team Hot Dog, captained by Ojo Sama, joined by Sin Smile, Willie, Silly Me, Aimseki, Nigo, Anemic Witch, and Kaname Madoka. In this group, I believe Team Washington FBT is technically 1 point ahead of their opponent at 8-7, but it's actually irrelevant because one of these teams will finish 2-1 and the other one will finish 1-2, and that's going to be the deciding factor here in the group as to who is able to go onward to next week and who is, as we said, going on home early. A lot on the line here in this match, and we're going to get right underway with it here. One thing of note, of course, the team, Washington football team, all American players, so they are playing at 9 a.m. or earlier. We'll see if it affects their performance. A lot of them playing at 8 a.m., in fact, the Texas players on that team. Kind of a rough go of things there, but unfortunately what happens when you're playing against a team that is Chinese and Russian for the most part of it. So we are once again going to be getting to start off here with good tech. We've seen a lot of this map, a very, very simple, straightforward stream map for the most part, other than everybody's favorite little split doubles section. We already do see a break, though, from Sin Smile. A couple breaks, in fact, from Sin Smile over on the side of Hot Dog. So we've fallen behind a little earlier than you would like to on this map in that combo. He's having a lot of trouble, in fact, down at 92%. Maybe not quite ready here this morning. Meanwhile, Errol at an SS, as well as Cuckweezy, Willie, and Nigo tying that accuracy. Oh, Dulakira, no. Dulakira with a little Among Us in his smoke over there. A rank FC for him. Does still have the combo intact, though. That's really all that matters. When you get into the second half of the map here, as always, you know, you get into the more difficult portion of it, and that's where things start to go a little bit awry sometimes for some teams. Gotta hold on through these doubles that are going to start here right in this section. And Chris immediately does find a break for Washington FBT. They're not in the worst place. They're still up by a couple million points. However, now they're not. Errol and Dulikir are both breaking. That's going to send the lead right on over to Hotdog, who have held completely through this. Break from Willie, but they've still got Ojo-sama and Naigo. And there's only the combo of Kakweezy. No, now it's... Let's see, yeah, Ojo-sama and Naigo, the ones that are left for Hotdog. And they're just going to pull away with this one here at the end in all likelihood. Not a lot that Washington FBT can do, except there's a break for Ojo-sama. This is going to get close in the last seconds. Here you've got Kakweezy, Errol, and Chris on some combo. Out-comboing Naigo, Sin Smile, and the backup combo for Hotdog. Is there going to be enough time, though, to bring this one back at the last second? This one's going to be very close in those last couple circles at the very end. But it looks like Hotdog may be able to just hold on. They have enough combo and the FC from Naigo to match Kakweezy. Oh, but Ojo-sama breaks at the very end. Not quite enough. It is going to be a very close first match of this one. 670,000 points, all that separate the teams. But it is going to be a win there for Team Hotdog. And that is a quick break point to start off the match in their favor. Not what you'd like to see if you're Washington FBT there. They get the FC out of Kakweezy, but not the best of backing combo. Unfortunately, no one else able to go over 430. Errol and Dulikir are both breaking on basically the same pattern. It looks like Dulikir with those 950s not helping matters either. Ojo-sama and Willie on those superior backing combos. And that means that Hotdog will get to select the next pick with the opportunity to go up an early 2-0. And they're going to pick another stream map. It's going to be Hard Rock 3. Not a lot of streams in this pool, but they're getting rid of both of the stream maps early. No Mod 2 into Hard Rock 3 means that we're going to really not have much in the way of streams left, unless you count the bursts in Hard Rock 1 or the streams in DT2. But other than that, the two kind of real stream maps are going to be gone instantly. We'll see if this one goes as well for Team Hotdog as the previous one. Obviously, very close result there. Really just, you know, one of those players from Washington holding on a little bit longer. Or one more break from Hotdog. Could have switched the result quite easily, but instead, Hotdog with that 1-0, going to try to consolidate their break point, going to try to take that early 2-0 lead. Always feels good, you know, to get out in front early on, early in the morning, early in the day. And this is, of course, finishing off this group. This is the last match to be played in Group I. So if you can have that lead, that means you are in a good spot to get out of the group. You're going to feel pretty good. See if the first pick for Hotdog works out well for them as we wait on the fourth member of that roster. It's going to end up being, looks like, Kaname Madoka from everybody's favorite deconstruction of the magical girls trope anime. Do not recommend having Poem Magi Madoka Magica being the first anime that you ever watch. You'll be very confused about how everything works. That's actually pretty OG. I wonder how long he's had that name, because you've got to think a character that popular would have been snatched up as a username in a game like this pretty early on. He's probably a player that's been around for a long time. It seems like every player from China has been playing the game for literally like 8 years. The most recently created account from China is probably from 2013. There's never been an account created since then. Also, that kind of speaks to their political climate and, you know, blocking of a lot of things on the internet, but it's not really what I was trying to go into. I'm not here to talk politics. Gonna get into it. This is a very interesting map because you'll see a lot of variation in accuracy, especially with people who can and cannot handle the OD of this pick. And sometimes you see slider breaks like Errol there at the beginning, so he's gonna fall behind a couple hundred combo early on, and that's really can be the deciding factor in this pick. Hotdog are gonna rush into an early lead. And there's a break from Dulikira as well as Errol finding a second break, so Washington FBT not having the greatest time of things to start this one off either. And this is really not comebackable at this point unless Hot Dog full combo reset, because there's a big section here with not a lot of combo in it. These are just sliders, so you're going to build up score much more slowly, and it's much easier to hold on to combo. Oh, there is, however, a slider break from Ojo-sama. Looks like he over-aimed that slider head. I feel for you, buddy. That is my issue as well. So maybe the door opening, just creaking back open ever so slowly for Washington FBT, but they do still need another break out of Hot Dog, and it's instead going to be Cuck Wheezy finding a break. And so this one is going to go once again to Team Hot Dog. A triple FC out of Naigo, Kaname Madoka, and Willie, all with, well, 2 of the 3 with relatively decent ag. 97% or above is not too shabby on that pick. Going to match the FC from Chris, but he is the only FC for Washington FBT, so despite the best act coming out of him, his teammates just a little bit lagging behind there, and it's a 3.5 million point victory for Team Hot Dog for a 2-0 lead. And Willie with the A rank FC, in fact, 650s in that not even 600 combo map, but that is enough to take it down to an A rank FC. But it does mean that Hot Dog are going to take a 2-0 consolidated breakpoint lead. They have 3 points to go to win, but all they have to do is win their own picks now. So, despite the vastly superior act from Washington FBT, it's all about the combo, man. It's all that matters at the end of the day. It's going to be Nomad 4 as the pick here from Washington FBT. Going to switch things up. And get a little bit of some alt. And I apologize for the share X, but I have to screenshot something to send to a staff member. So yeah, we're going to switch it up to a little bit of alt slider aim, light tech, away from the stream maps that started things off. And maybe that'll work out better for Washington than the previous stream maps did. Maybe it won't. You never know. I'm going to update our results. We've got a forfeit on our hands. One of those unsurprising forfeits, match K6, Choco Ice versus Yagnita, which is absolutely meaningless in context of the group result. So Team Choco Ice has forfeited that match. Because didn't have any relevance to the group or outcome anyway, so I mean, that sort of thing just ends up happening. Teams don't want to play that last match because it doesn't matter. Alright, that's sorted out. So I just found out last night, and people can laugh at me if they want for not knowing about this, but there's like a live band version, like a jam session version of this song that's like recorded in some dude's freaking house with the band. And it's actually like the sickest thing ever. I had never heard of it or seen it before. And there's even a map of it by Miss Magius that's like ridiculous, that Vaxe has the most absurd play on. And like, I just never knew about this existing. It's very, very cool. And if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend checking it out. It's like the first result, actually, if you search for Nowhere Overtime on YouTube. But it's actually like super, super cool. And I felt, I was made to feel silly for not having heard of it before, so I'm kind of curious, you know, if people out there have heard of it as well or not. But it's definitely dope. So... we'll eventually get into this map here. Looks like we're set to go with the same 4. I wonder if that's all the Washington football team has this morning. They may not have full team available. Again, kind of what happens when you play these early matches. We got Chris, Errol, Dual Kira, Kakweezy. They're going to be taking on Anemic Witch, Nigo, Willie, and Silly Me. Willie and Silly. Okay. Gotta get prepared for that. This is a big second pick here for Washington FBT because they're at risk of falling behind a quick 3-0 if they drop this pick. So hopefully they can pull it together a little bit and get a point on the board and sort of claw their way back into the momentum of this match. You know, that, like I said, that early consolidated break point can be very tricky mentally and just in the sense of the score. I mean, you've only got 5 points to gain when 2 of them are gone away from you this quickly. But you got to just, you know, stay composed and remember that there's time left in the match and stick with your guns, best picks, all that. Hope for the best. And the best seems to be a break from Willie in the first couple hundred combo. So Washington FBT will for once be taking a little bit of a lead here. Only time will tell how long they can maintain it. Of course, this map a little bit longer. So it's got a bit more consistency involved in it. But at the first break here, about a quarter of the way in, it is about an 800,000 point lead for Washington Redacted. Where is Taylor Heineke when you need him to lead you to the promised land? Or perhaps the return of Alex Smith, one leg and all, on a bionic second leg. Dual Kira and Errol do find a break. It is traded with Silly Me. There's going to be combo advantage for Hotdog, though. Willie recovering his combo quite well will bring that score back over. It's 2 FCs and a large combo against just 2 FCs. So the score lead will go back to Hotdog once again. Another double miss is rough to deal with, and another double miss. In fact, Errol and Kakweezy now only 1 combo left for Washington FBT. I don't know that they really are going to be in a good place to try and win this pick at this juncture, unfortunately. It is just now Chris with the FC. Meanwhile, Anemic Witch and Nigo both on the FCs. Willie with a 500 plus combo and Silly Me at 300 plus to match Dual Kira. It's going to be a very rough spot to be in now for Washington FBT. Hotdog going to pull away with this one as well. Looking ever more like they're going to advance out of the group by maybe by virtue of just a rough schedule for Washington FBT. A little bit of an underperformance from them here possibly as well. And there goes Chris. So this one is done and dusted. Put it in the dirt. And Team Hotdog, man, for a lower seed, looking pretty good here in the early goings in this match. I mean, they've gotten several FCs. They're about to get possibly 2 more. And they're just thoroughly outplaying Washington FBT, despite the triple break here in the last quarter of the map. Nigo, Silly Me, Willie all breaking, but Errol breaks for Washington FBT. And with that 13 million lead, I think it should be more than enough for Anemic Witch to be able to hold off, especially with no FCs on Washington football team's side. There's a decent amount of combo on Dual Kira, Kakweezy, and Chris, but it's just not enough time remaining, I don't think. It's 12 million points. Yeah, there's no way there's enough time left, unfortunately. And so we are going to see a 3-0 double break point advantage. Even after some more breaks from Hotdog, so they were doing really well on this. If they'd found that full combo reset a little bit earlier, this one could have gotten very interesting at the end because Washington FBT had a lot of combo coming into the ending. They brought it down to only about 5 million points, but unfortunately they were just far too far behind and it was too little too late for them. And that is Hot Dog with a 3-0 double break point. If they win their next pick, they'll be at a 4-0, and it's just a rough spot to be in for Team Washington, or redacted. And so, well, so I suppose I should clarify for the non-Americans among us. Washington football team, despite the name, the team formerly known as the Washington Redskins, it's an American football team. They play in the NFL. They play in the NFC East, the probably worst division in the NFL. Anyway, they do not play in the state of Washington. They play in, or actually just outside of Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, which is on the East Coast. So they are in UTC -5 rather than UTC -8. So the players that are actually on the East Coast, which I think about half of them are in the East Coast, half of them are in Central Time, it's either 9:30 in the morning or about 8:30 in the morning currently. So fortunately, they're not out in the actual state of Washington, which is on the Pacific Coast, which is 6:30 in the morning right now. This would be a little bit of a ridiculous time for them to be playing. So, just in case anybody, didn't know how that worked, if you're from outside the U.S., I fully understand, because it doesn't make sense to everyone here either. I've had people from the U.S. who thought, the Washington Redskins or whatever were actually from the state of Washington, but the state of Washington has their own football team. It's the Seattle Seahawks. They play in the NFC West, which is, by contrast to the NFC East, one of the strongest divisions in the league, but we don't bother discussing that part of it. All the teams from Washington, D.C. are just named Washington. So you've got, the Washington Redskins, now the Washington football team in the NFL. You've got the Washington Capitals in the NHL. You've got the Washington Nationals, which I guess is a little more indicative of where they're from. The Nationals kind of sounds like it would be from Washington, D.C. In the MLB. They no longer have a team in the NBA, however. So I personally am also from Eastern Time Zone, despite being on the very western edge of it. So UTC -5 for me as well. 9:30 a.m. here. Also, Michigan is kind of like a border state but we also have the lake on the west side of the state, so it's like kind of the divider line. If you go like southwest into Illinois, you go into Central Time. But if you are here or due south on down, you are in the Eastern Time Zone. And that is more information than anyone in this chat needed about sports stuff and time zone stuff. But there you go. And in about 1 minute, it is time in the Mountain Time Zone. There it is. Okay, I gotta go do a thing. Hang on. Sorry for the typing here. Okay, because currently, if you live in Mountain Standard Time, where you are UTC -7 instead of UTC -time, it is a when you see it type of moment at 9:27 here, 7:27 a.m. there. As Nigo goes into the wrong map. So we're going to get free mod to Dancing Kung Fu. It's going to be the same four from Washington FBT. Trying to see if they can get a point back on a break point here against Aimseki, Nigo, Willie, and Silly Me. And just as an aside regarding the prior discussion, literally, if you're not from the United States, I do not blame you for not knowing anything about United States geography, because I probably don't know much about your country's geography either. Global geography is very tough and not something we teach nearly well enough. So it is one of those things where I find no shame in just going to Google and taking a look at where things are, because that's so much easier. So for mods, we've got Chris on Hidden Hard Rock, Dual on Hard Rock, as well as Kuckweezy. Errol, no mod for Washington FBT. On the other side, Nigo on Hidden, and Silly Me on Hidden Hard Rock. So kind of minimal mods for Team Hot Dog. Aimseki and Willie both running no mod on this one. We'll see how that goes for them. This one really doesn't end up coming down to just mod advantage very often. You see a couple of FCs here and there, but typically the scorer is wide enough that it wasn't just the mod advantage or lack thereof that determined the outcome. And we get the early break from Dual Akira. And a break from Chris as well. So once again, Washington football team just kind of struggling with FCing maps. I know that sounds very straightforward, but like it's kind of just what's happening here. On this group stage, you have to be able to get FCs and lots of them, because you're going to have a lot of trouble winning matches if you don't. Meanwhile, Hot Dog's still in the four-way full combo, and they're just going to take a big lead. And finally, they get their first break from Aim Seki, but it's just traded back with Errol, and so now it's just Cuckweezy against the world here. It is a break, however, from Nigo, so 1/3 of the map left to go when you see it, almost. Willie, Silly Me, the FC's left for Hot Dog. If Cuckweezy can hold, and as well as Chris and Dual Akira, and Silly Me and Willie both break, there could technically be a chance for Team Washington FBT, but Willie and Silly Me just holding the FCs. And they're going to keep Hot Dog in the lead, and I don't know that there's really going to be much that Washington FBT can do about it. It always sucks when you're kind of just praying for breaks from the other team to have any chance, but that's exactly what's happening here. And with Chris and Dual Akira both breaking, it's over as well. This is going to be a very, very speedy match, it looks like here. Already about to be at 4-0. And just looking to see if we get the double FC out of Willie and out of Silly Me on Nomad and on Hidden Hard Rock. That's the duality of man right there. And Silly Me breaks right at the end. Unfortunate, but it is a 14 million point win for Team Hot Dog. Washington just unable to get anything going. Look here, it pulls out the Slider Break S rank, but no FCs. Not the best of scores. I mean, really, only one player over 10 million points, and one down at 6 million. You know, it's gonna be rough to win matches in group stage if you can't FC more of these picks, because this map pool is pretty straightforward, simple. So I gotta... Well, we do have a match result to report. It's going to be Team No Spamming in Group P, 5-0 over Team VTuber Enjoyers. So I believe that is VTuber Enjoyers eliminated, and it's going to be Enjoyment Gaming and No Spamming going on, and their match later on today will determine which of them wins that group. And I gotta take care of one other thing here real quick. This is E4? No. What match is this? E4? Oh, D4. Okay, cool. Alright. We've got DT3 as the pick coming in, possibly the last map of this match. 4-0 Hot Dog double breakpoint consolidated. Washington FBT on their last life here. We'll see if they can get something on the board, or if it's going to be a 5-0 sweep for Hot Dog. Several early breaks, Cuckweezy, Sin Smile, and Nigo. And we do get the classic DT client lag, so we're going to get to watch a bit of a slideshow here for this map, as per usual. Sin Smile, another break as well already, so once again, Washington FBT going to take a bit of an early lead on their own pick. It's just a matter of whether they can actually hold on to it this time, because they've had a lot of trouble on their first couple picks. I mean, they took leads, and then they just fell apart later on in the maps. And yeah, this tournament client shit is quite frustrating to deal with. I apologize. I have, as of yet, found no way to fix it. So if anybody knows anything about fixing this frickin' particular glitch, I'm all ears, because I don't really understand what the cause is. You have a break from Cuckweezy. Still the 3-way FC, though. He is the only one that is broken for Washington FBT. Meanwhile, you've seen Nigo and Sin Smile break on the side of Hot Dog. It's going to be combo advantage for now, gently in favor of Washington FBT, but not by a lot. And there's another break from Nigo, so that's going to help the combo lead out for Washington. We're going to come into that very tricky portion at the last third and quarter of the map here pretty soon. Yeah, I don't think that probably works. Yeah, this actually makes it worse. Okay, Errol and Cuckweezy just both break. Well, there's combo lead vastly over to Team Hot Dog. Oh, wait, Sin Smile breaks, so it's going to keep it alive for Washington. Chris and Tulakir versus Ojo-sama and Willie. He's going to be the matchup to see who can make this one, and it looks like we've got some fails, we've got some misses, we've got a lot of crazy stuff going on. I have no idea what's happening at all. And it's going to end up being Washington FBT winning the point. Thank you, tournament client, for being garbage. Anyway, Washington football team takes the point by about 400,000 points. Chris ending up with 7.6 million. And after his score is added, does mean that Washington FBT will get a point on the board. Yeah, there's one actual fail. Tournament client is fucking bad. Wait, it's gonna be another DT. We're gonna get another. Excuse me. We're gonna get another tournament client experience here. So, yeah, I genuinely don't know at this point what to try to do to fix this particular issue. I really don't. Willing and open to take any suggestions. Pray to Peppy, yeah. I mean, Steph ahead, short version. Yo, Steph Curry ahead of me? Yo, let's go. Yeah. The problem is, like, panicking doesn't actually fix it, and neither does syncing music. Like, it just continues doing it. It's just, I don't know. Because there's, like, cool DT picks in tournaments, you know? And you want to be able to see them, and then you just can't. Because the client's like, nope. I might, I might try to bring it up in, like, an internal server. But, I don't know. I'm assuming that, like, this iteration of Tournament Client is assumed to just be, like, deprecated at this point because they have the Laser Client. But I don't know that the Laser Client actually helps. because I don't have the laser client. I mean, if I installed it and looked, I mean, I could like try to find out at least if it fixed this particular issue, but laser client is like just a different shell, so I assume I would probably still have the same issue with the actual game clients, unless it somehow optimizes like connections or something. I'm not really sure. Laser client is, I guess, like a giant pain to install and set up and configure. And I am extremely lazy and also extremely busy IRL. So I'd have to find one of my periods of time when I'm not like at my job or already actively commentating and streaming a tournament on the weekend. As you can expect, somewhat difficult. So we'll find out. I don't know, maybe later on. But for now, it's Washington FBT trying to win another DT pick here, this time on Hot Dog's pick to once again continue on a little bit longer in this match. Again, early 2 breaks from Hot Dog. You don't see most people breaking on this map. Willie and Ojo-sama both missing on that first stream, dropping accuracy down pretty far as well. I don't, like, what am I supposed to do here? I think this map is actually over because of those 2 breaks. I don't know that there's a way to come back from that. Oh, well, maybe there is. Chris finds a break. If there's another miss here from Washington FBT, it could open back up a little bit. 5FC is still on the board, and it's not a very big score gap here. But it looks like no further misses will be forthcoming from Washington FBT, so you should be able to hold on to this one. It's going to be relatively close, but... Yep, so that's going to be another point for Washington FBT. It's 2 in a row. They get a pick of their own and a breakpoint win. And so the SS from Cuckweezy matching 3x100s from Errol and Dual Akira. It's 4-2 now, the score. Washington FBT with the next point. Their next pick, excuse me. And we're gonna go another DT, so we're getting 3 double time picks in a row. Because of course we are. This is more or less the easiest map in the pool. All right. Let's see if Washington FBT can win 3 DTs in a row. That would be pretty based of them, to be honest, if they can pull that off, because get them a little closer to maybe forcing a tiebreaker here. That easy map consistency of Team Hotdog being called into question here. They seem to have superior consistency earlier on. Washington football team, though, maybe waking up, getting a little warmed up, you know. It's rough playing matches starting this early. I can't blame them too much for having a difficult start of things, but we'll see if the fact that this is map number 8 now, or map number 7, excuse me, will have them in a little bit better spot. Kind of settled into the match and all that. Yeah, DT1, aka Nomad 1 with tournament client lag. Basically a proper assessment of this pick. We should have just played Nomad 1 and slowed it down and cut off the last third of it, and then we just had this. Because this is actually slower than the Nomad 1. The real Nomad 1. The problem with this pick is that you literally can't miss on it. Because if you miss, you lose. We saw that happen yesterday. 8 Angry Men versus R&B Club. You literally, like, if you miss, you just instantly lose. Because there's just not much left. Like, it's gonna be a 3 or 4-way FC almost every time for most teams. As you can see, I mean, well, you might be able to see, you can sort of see. Washington FBT still on the 4-way SS. You're gonna take a little bit of a lead just on accuracy, but no breaks. Still 8 full combos, just the Sin Smile accuracy down at 96%. You must have had trouble with one of the streams because there's no other reason your AC would be that low on this pick. Like mistimed the first stream a little bit or something? Hard to say. Oh, and there's a break from Nigo. That's probably just gonna do it, honestly. That is in all likelihood just going to mean that Washington FBT takes the point, and that's going to be 3 in a row. The problem is, for them, that's going to exhaust the double time pool, so now they're going to have to go somewhere different for Hotdog's last pick of the match. As Ojo-sama finds a break as well, just to add a little bit of insult to injury, pour some salt in that wound. You still have the 3 full combo, or 3 SSs, 4 full combos for Washington FBT, so they're going to win this one pretty comfortably, it looks like. Only 2/3 of the way through, but I mean, really, like, there's just not a lot you're going to break on. Man, imagine a 3 SS and 1x100. This might be the last pick for Mod 3 angle. That might just be the tech. To be honest, there's a very good chance that that's just the tech. Hotdog did win the other free mod anyway that they picked when they picked free mod 2, but... Oh, just I'm under-aiming just to make it a little worse. But, yeah, I think, you know, at this point you're already thinking about your last pick here if you're Hotdog, because this pick is already, you know, long since over. And it's only going to be the SS out of Cuckweezy at most here for Washington FBT, unfortunately. Errol with a break as well, so only 3 FCs can come out of them. Man, you hate to see it. I was really hoping for like the 3-way SS or something to end up happening, but unfortunate, they could not live up to expectations. And the map has actually already ended. I'm 99% sure that it has just actually ended like a minute and a half ago by now. But yeah, so 3 points in a row for Washington FBT. They bring it back to 4-3. Now Hotdog on their last pick of the match will be trying to close it out, but you know, they've been trying to close it out for a while now to no success. We'll see if it works this time. Very comfortable 15 million point win for Washington FBT, the triple FC from them. 1x100 out of Cuckweezy, 2x100 out of Dualkira, 3x100 out of Chris. And slider ends to blame. You have perfect combo, 1 slider end miss, 2 slider end misses. And it's going to be Nomad 5. I don't know what Chris was saying, there you go, Aaron, about. I don't know what he did that he would be saying, there you go, to me. But thank you, I guess. So it's some speed time. Go from a couple. Oh, we did have DT3 in there, which is relatively speedy, but not like fast. Yeah, the Nomad 5 Orchid Dance, Euphoric Orchid Dance. Gonna be the last pick of the match. And it's going to be what determines if we go to a tiebreaker or if Hot Dog can finally close this out after dropping 3 points in a row. In the reverse sweep attempt here from Washington FBT. Yeah, 2 points to go to try and make that happen. Here we go. Ojosama, Naigo, Willie, and Sin Smile once again going to try to finish this match off in favor of Team Hot Dog. The same four for Washington, who do not have any more players. Going to see if they can force a tiebreaker here. We get to Cuckweezy, Naigo, and Chris all with early breaks, which I think is more misses than I typically see in the first 100 combo of this map by, about 3. But, it's not going to be the end of the world. That's going to hurt, though. Errol with a break into the slow section. Meanwhile, still FCs on Ojo-sama, Willie, and on Sin Smile. A little bit of an uh-oh moment here for Washington FBT, because this is an eminently FCable pick. Naigo can miss all he wants, but it's going to be down to the other 3 on Hot Dog breaking at some point if Washington FBC wants to have any sort of chance here. Dual Akira, their only FC left, though Cuckweezy not far behind, neither is Chris, so you've got a decent amount of combo. It's just going to be a matter of the other team breaking, and Naigo did not, in fact, find another break. And honestly, this is basically over already, unless Team Hot Dog finds multiple breaks in the one somewhat difficult section of the map that's going to come up in a little bit here. This map and the match with it are just going to come to an abrupt ending. The comeback is going to get snuffed out here unless you see basically a 3-way at least combo reset on the burst section. Very, very short little break here, and there we go. There's just not much to break on in this pick, unfortunately, but those combos getting big. Here we go into the little difficult section of this map. A break from Ojo-sama and Willie, a break from Chris from Washington FBT as well, but that is going to mean the combo advantage goes to Washington FBT by Errol's entire combo. Oh, but he breaks as well, and now it is going to be Naigo and Sin Smile going to bring it home against Cuckweezy and Dual Akira. If Errol had held on there may have been enough time for a comeback, but that slider break just ended any chances that Washington FBT had at coming back. And Hot Dog are going to close it out. It's going to be the 5-3 win for them. They are going to advance onward into the round of 32, and Washington football team will be eliminated with a 1-2 record at the hands of Team Hot Dog. That is a tragic way to go with a slider break from Errol near the end of the map there, just saying no sir to their chances at a tiebreaker. But well done to Team Hot Dog, bringing up the FC from Sin Smile and those big combos backing from all 3 other members, Naigo, Willie, and Ojo-sama. That was absolutely just down to the wire, but Hot Dog made it happen. So congratulations to them. They will go forth to the promised land of the round of 32 as the B seed out of Group I